7 Key Facts about British Royal History You Didn't Know About. Throughout its 1,000-year reign, the British monarchy has adhered to a comprehensive set of rules, many of which have evolved over time. The history of the British royal family demonstrates that great power comes with significant responsibility and numerous regulations. While the Crown's role in modern society is largely symbolic, remnants of traditions passed down during the monarchy's extensive history serve as powerful reminders of the past. 1. Who was the earliest king of England? The first king of all England was Athelstan, 895 to 939 AD, from the House of Wessex, who was the grandson of Alfred the Great and the 30th great-grand-uncle of Queen Elizabeth II. The Anglo-Saxon king defeated the last Viking invaders and unified Britain, ruling from 925 to 939 AD. 2. Who is allowed to become king or queen? Beginning with the reign of William the Conqueror, the monarchy was traditionally passed from the king to his eldest son. This changed in 1702 when the British Parliament enacted the Act of Settlement, which stipulated that upon King William III's death the title would pass to Anne and her heirs of her body, allowing a woman to inherit the throne if there was no male heir available. At that time, English common law dictated that male heirs took precedence over their sisters in the line of succession. In recognition of the Church of England's influence, the Act also stated that any heir who married a Roman Catholic would be removed from the line of succession. The rules governing who could inherit the British throne were not revised again until 2013, when Parliament passed the Succession to the Crown Act. This legislation established an absolute primogeniture system, meaning the throne would go to the firstborn heir, regardless of gender. 3. Britain's monarch has the right to veto a family member's marriage. The Royal Marriage Act of 1772 granted the monarch the authority to veto any marriage within the royal family. This legislation was introduced in response to King George III's displeasure over his younger brother Prince Henry's marriage to the commoner and Houghton. Since then, royals wishing to marry have been required to seek the Crown's permission, which has not always been granted. Queen Elizabeth II famously denied her sister Princess Margaret's request to marry Peter Townsend, a war hero whom the Queen deemed unsuitable because he was a commoner and a divorcier. This power was somewhat reduced with the introduction of the Succession to the Crown Act of 2013, which allowed heirs beyond the first 6 in the line of succession to marry without needing the monarch's approval. 4. Kings and queens of England did not have a last name until World War I. Until the early 20th century, reigning monarchs were known by their family or house names. For instance, Henry VIII and his children were all Tudors, followed by a succession of Stuarts. This changed during World War I when England was at war with Germany. King George V had some awkward familial ties. His grandfather, Prince Albert, was born in Germany, and through him, George V inherited the title of head of the House of Saxe-Coburg-Gotha. To create a sense of separation between the British throne and their foreign relatives, the family name was changed to a more modern English surname, Windsor. This name was inspired by Windsor Castle, which was established by William the Conqueror. 5. Can British royals marry commoners? British royals have been marrying commoners since the 15th century, although such unions were often controversial in a family where bloodlines dictate power. In 1464, King Edward IV secretly wed commoner Elizabeth Woodville, a widow. The future King James II also married a commoner, and after she became pregnant, she died before he ascended the throne. Following the Royal Marriages Act of 1772, which was enacted in response to Prince Henry's marriage to commoner and Houghton, royal commoner marriages nearly vanished for almost 250 years. As societal norms surrounding marriage, divorce, and partnerships evolved, so did royal marriages. Both of Prince Charles and Princess Diana's children were allowed to marry commoners. Prince William married Kate Middleton, the daughter of party supplies business owners, in 2011, while his brother Harry wed American actress Meghan Markle in 2018. 6. Can royals get divorced? Obtaining a royal divorce was quite challenging until very recently. It wasn't until 2002 that the Church of England permitted divorced individuals to remarry. Since the monarch is also the head of the Anglican Church, heirs to the throne were effectively prohibited from marrying divorced individuals or divorcing themselves. This is particularly ironic given that it was King Henry VIII who established the Church after the Catholic Church refused to annul his marriage to his first wife, Catherine of Aragon. Following the Royal Marriage Act of 1772, which granted the monarch veto power over royal marriages, The stigma surrounding divorce meant that any proposed union between royalty and a divorced person was essentially impossible. In 1820, King George IV appeared before a parliamentary panel in an attempt to divorce his wife, Caroline of Brunswick, whom he accused of infidelity. He only succeeded in creating a scandal and reinforcing the notion that one cannot hold both a crown and divorce papers. In 1936, Edward VIII abdicated the throne to marry twice-divorced American Wallis Simpson, becoming the last royal to be forced to choose between love and succession. Before the 2002 ruling by the Church, Queen Elizabeth II's sister, Princess Margaret, was allowed to divorce in 1978. In 1996, Elizabeth II also approved the divorce of her son Prince Charles from Princess Diana. Charles later married the divorced Camilla Parker Bowles in 2005, while his son Harry married divorcee Meghan Markle in 2018. 7. The British monarch is king or queen of more than just England. In addition to being the head of the Anglican Church, the British monarch also serves as the head of the Commonwealth, which is an association of 54 independent countries, most of which were formerly colonies or territories of the British Empire. Elizabeth II was queen of 16 countries that are part of the Commonwealth: Antigua and Barbuda, Australia, the Bahamas, Barbados, Belize, Canada, Grenada, Jamaica, New Zealand, Papua New Guinea, St. Kitts and Nevis, St. Lucia, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the Solomon Islands, Tuvalu, and the United Kingdom.